just this is going to be my first tear apart video, I guess you could call it. I'm going to be disassembling one of those tiny little Chinese Mp3 Mp4 players, whatever they want to call them. You see them all over eBay. Maybe you've bought one out of curiosity because they're so freaking cheap. Let me show you mine here. Got this for probably about $20 or so on eBay, and it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it just amazed me how they could sell it to me for $20-25. It's an 8 gig model, and it does everything. Got videos, music, all that. The battery life could be better, a lot better, but overall, I mean, it's just amazing. I wanted to take it apart and see how they can possibly do this for so little money. So here you can see it's playing Pineapple Express. I don't know if you can see that really well, but yeah, video quality is alright. It depends on the kind of video encoding you're using. There are quite a few freeware programs out there that not only come with the player, but also there are quite a few communities that provide software for these little players in particular. And I may be posting some videos later on about the best programs to use for this and the best techniques for converting your videos, because the biggest downside to these, I think, is the video conversion that you have to do to make the videos you want to play work with the player. It's pretty confusing, and if you're not relatively computer savvy, you're going to have a difficult time. So I may be posting some videos about that, but for now, we're going to take this little guy apart and see what's inside. Enjoy.
Okay, everyone, hello again. We're just going to do the disassembly of the tiny little Chinese Mp3 Mp4 player. No idea what the actual manufacturer is. This model is an 8 gigabyte, and like I said, I just bought it off eBay for fun. I think it cost me maybe $25, and I'm kind of curious to take a look what's inside these things and pretty much how they make them so cheap, I guess. So let's get started. I've got just a standard set of jeweler screwdrivers here, tiny little screwdrivers. This is just a silicone case that came with the player. Right now I've got it charging on my Xbox over here off screen, just to give it a little bit of battery charge before we start here, so we can turn it back on and all that. It was pretty much dead a second ago. So first I'll go ahead and disconnect this, and so you can see here, I'll go through the options really quick. Music, movies, voice recordings, all that standard stuff. So I'm going to power it off really quick. And like I said, this is an 8 gigabyte model. I don't know if you can see that, I hope so. Something interesting about this, it uses a different sized headphone jack. I forget the measurement on that. Is it, I think maybe 2 something millimeters. I don't recall, but it's smaller than the standard headphone jack, which is I believe 3 1/4. So anyway, okay, so I'm gonna take a tiny Phillips head. They have 2 little screws down here, right at the bottom here, that I'm going to undo. And these look like the only things on the case that are really keeping it together. So I'm going to set these over here on my silicone case so I can see them. Again, these look pretty simple to take apart and put together, just because I'm amazed they're so small. It was a lot smaller than I expected, but again, everything seems pretty simple to take apart. So I'm just kind of prying the case open here, pretty easy. And yeah, just like that, case came right off. No adhesive, just a little spongy stuff there to press down on the USB connector, I guess. So it looks like we have a standard 3.7 volt lithium-ion battery here. It looks like it's glued in there. Maybe not, just lightly taped, it looks like. Now this looks like the back of the screen here. I'm going to be careful with that. Let's go ahead and power this on and see what happens here. So we are getting powered on, that's good. And you can see this is the backlight to the screen over here. So yeah, it looks like the battery is taped to the little piece of paper that's kind of holding the light into the backlight. So that can kind of be a difficulty if you had to replace the screen for some reason, or the battery for that matter. So here we've got a Hynix memory chip and what looks to be the main logic processor here. Here's a microphone here, and a reset button, and the headphone jack and USB port. Under this tape looks to just be a few more transistors. So let's go ahead and take the rest of these screws off of here and see what we find. Okay. Logic board seems to kind of be popping up here. The whole thing kind of comes right out there. Oh, and we see the buttons are connected. The buttons and the USB connectors or the headphone jack are connected via a tiny little ribbon cable here. Actually, that's kind of just taped on there, if I see correctly. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Yeah, this seems to just be kind of taped onto a connector. There's no this end here, the button end here, is soldered on, and over here it has some sort of adhesive tape with some little metal strips on it. Maybe sort of like an instant solder, I guess you could say it is. So I'm not going to take the button pad off. Doesn't seem to be much interesting on the other side except the buttons.
Okay, everyone, that's it for that one. I had to stop myself there because I started to ramble way past the 10-minute mark. So that's it for that one, and there's more to come on a lot of other cool stuff.
We're in heaven.